right, here we are. This is the last video in our benchtop / tabletop series, where I explain to you the way to get these tops the way that you want them, so that when we do build the benches, we can refer back to these videos so you know how to make sure that they don't warp, or give you the best chance of having them not warp. And this one is the fastening on. So we don't just want to drive screws in, or especially we don't want to glue them on. So we're going to show you the 3 different methods of putting the tops on to prevent the top from warping and wrecking your project. So now you're going to have a younger me explain this. Even though he's only got 5,000 subs, he still knows what he's talking about. So after he's done, we'll come back to future Greg, who's got almost 10,000. Oh, wait a second. Yeah, we're going to need your help to get these up there. We're almost there now. Okay, so when we come back, I'm going to explain to you what my favorite method is and why it is. Okay, so let's get to it. Okay, here's our bench top completed. Put 5 coats of polyacrylic on top. If you're using polyurethane, 3 is more than enough. Polyacrylic is just not as strong because it's water-based. 3 methods of fastening the top on properly to allow for movement. Okay, method number 1, Z-clips. Whereas they are known in Canada, I guess, as Z-clips. So, you know, put on your ZZ Top Eliminator album and fasten them in. Okay, so the way that I did them on the bench that I have here is I put them boards through the table saw before I assembled it. So yeah, if you have a biscuit joiner, this is the easier way to do it. Just set your blade at 1/2 inch down. Then you would just have it like that. And there's how your Z-clip would go in. Okay, now I'm going to do it with the actual bench. Supposed to have 1 inch all the way around. Close enough. Okay, so the trick with these guys is just make sure they're not jammed in all the way. That way they can, has a little bit of room to move. And then I'm just going to drill a pilot hole because I don't want to tempt fate after doing all this work. And so on. Okay, so we went to all this trouble to make sure that we had our bench top nice and flat as we could get it. Did all that work to make sure that it wasn't going to twist. But now we're going to take an extra precaution here. You absolutely want to do this if it's not for you, because if it's for you, you can always deal with it later. But if you sell it to somebody or give it to somebody, there's a problem that you do not want to have, and that is having the thing, like in the wintertime when the furnace comes on, dries the air out more, and the bench twists a little bit. You're going to want to have these in place because then you won't have to deal with it. All right, there's your adjustable furniture feet. Screw them down all the way, and then tell the customer that it's in case they put it on an uneven floor. Don't suggest that it might twist or whatever. Just if it does twist, they'll probably just adjust the feet, you know, rather than complain about it. Sometimes what I'll do as well is I'll put felt on here, and then I just tell the customer if they want to take it out, they can, but at least the T's in there in case they have to put it back in. All right, and there we have it. Okay, on to the next one. Okay, so the next method, just so you know, I did put poly on this. It is sealed up, just because I didn't stain it, because you'd never see it, but I did seal it to help avoid twisting. Okay, so on to the next top. Okay, so we're going to do 2 methods on this one. The first one I'm just going to do on the insides here because they won't be seen. You just basically drill a hole. Why did I have it all perfectly placed when I had to move it again? Now I gotta measure everything again. Okay, so I used, what did I use here? 1/4 inch bit, which is substantially larger than what the screw is. So I'm gonna take a washer, flat washer, and use what else than a 2.5 inch deck screw. You can use pocket hole screws for anything with a flat head. I'm using the washers because this has a tapered head. So you just put it in there. See, it's nice able to wobble around. That's what you want. And then you're just going to fasten it down just about like that. You don't want to get it in there too far or it's going to not allow it to move. This is the cheapest, most convenient method for me because I have to order everything off of Amazon because there's no store that sells the tabletop fasteners. Problem with it is, and why I'm not doing it on this one, is that if they're in here, if you're back far enough, you can see the heads of the screws, and I don't want that. So now I have to undo what I did. Okay, so the next method is going to be figure eights. These get fastened on in a way that if the wood moves, they can move a little bit. So now I'm going to find a corresponding bit. Okay, so here's our holes that we did for the second method. I just had to take it back off because I forgot to cut these in first. So we're not going to worry about putting the figure eights there. I'm going to put them here. Okay, so we're just going to square off the sides here. And when you put them in, you want to put them in like that on a bit of an angle, and you want to have them all kind of angled the same way. Because if you have it straight, it means that you're not going to have anywhere to go. All right, do that 5 more times. Okay, so again, I'm pre-drilling my holes to some extent. Bench number 2 is done. Ready for pickup. Okay, so we're actually going for this, okay? Not 0, 1, we're actually going for the 10. Okay, so help us out if you can. And definitely leave a comment as to your thoughts on this whole process. So, my favorite method is using the Z-clips, especially now that I have a biscuit joiner. Now, if you don't have a biscuit joiner and you want to use the Z-clips, just make sure that you plan it out so you can use the table saw to cut the notch in there. Definitely the other 2 methods are just fine as well. I just find that they're easier and you can get 40 of them for maybe less than $20 or something like that. We'll have them linked below anyway. Okay, so yeah, let us know how you feel about it. And if you like those benches in the video and you want us to build some, let us know because I definitely feel like they are very nice. So anyway, so be sure to subscribe and like, and yeah, if you want to see us build those benches, let us know below.